Whew! I woke up at 2 in the morning here in Hawaii to call Joe over in New York and catch him in the morning before he starts his busy Sunday. Here's how it went. Enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today, as promised, for today's special read, we have my stepbro Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Yeah, so remember, this channel is all about reading things that we have written in the past so that we understand where we are now. And Joe wrote something extremely interesting over 40 years ago. Got it right here. And I'm going to share it with you, and then we're going to ask Joe a few questions. Does that sound good?
Excellent.
All right, so this was a note that on a Christmas present, Joe. We exchanged these for Christmas, 1980. You remember that?
I do. I no longer have mine, but I do.
Oh. Well, in my copy that you gave to me, you wrote the following: Merry Christmas. To Professor Changer. With the knowledge you obtain from this book, use it to make Jesus freaks realize the truth of our existence. There will be no everlasting life for all and no earth paradise in years to come. It's all a fantasy world idea. Anyone who chooses to believe that probably watches too much Fantasy Island. You understand the facts. It's your duty as a human to help lead the rest of our civilization the right way. Hold on, almost done. Try and keep an open mind and not laugh too much at religious persons. They're human too. Take it easy, bro.
Oh, wow.
Well, can I ask you a few questions about that?
Absolutely.
We're only talking about changing, how we grow. Of course, we all grow. Look at us, 40 years later, we're old men. But focusing on knowing how we've grown because of something we wrote before, right? And you wrote this, and it's pretty harsh on, religion. So let me ask you, back when you were 15 years old, were you really clear that you didn't want to subscribe or believe in any type of religion?
Absolutely. I absolutely had no interest in organized religion, and quite honestly, at that point, religion at all. The notion of a supreme or divine entity superior to humans just never crossed my mind.
So at that time, would you say that you believed in God or did not believe in God?
Oh, I absolutely did not believe in the existence, right, of a supernatural deity. I was very firm on that. I was an atheist's atheist.
So how long had you been an atheist? I mean, because we're talking about you knowing this and making these statements when you're 15, almost 16 years old. How early did you know that you didn't believe in God?
I don't recall when that kind of happened. I as a young child, my father was Catholic and my mother was Protestant, but neither one of them were practicing. And they taught us, the prayer at night, like we went to bed saying, "Now I lay me down to sleep," that prayer. And so like my knowledge of God was based on just that prayer, right? And I did attend a Sunday school, I remember, for a few sessions at least, and where you had to read the Bible. And I remember particularly enjoying anytime the devil was in the like those passages were always the thing that piqued my interest. But that ended quickly in terms of like any kind of organized religion. And I wouldn't say it was until I was probably 14 or 15 that I even began, definitely stating, "Oh, I'm an atheist because I don't believe in any of this."
We don't have any other writings of yours other than this, where you're making strong statements about religion. Maybe we'll come across some later in letters that you wrote to me. But do you think that there was a particular influence prior to this point in your life where you're very strongly atheistic? Was there an influence prior to that that may have, led to you not believing in God?
No, there was no one in my life that was, guiding me either way. So there was a vacuum, right? There was the absence of religion, other than that nightly prayer, but that, that ended when I was probably, 6 or 7 or something like that. So there was no influence either way. And I don't recall, like, having attended public school, I don't recall there being any religion there either. Like there was no one swaying me either way there. So
what about cultural influences? Do you think there was something in culture, movies, books, television shows, anything that influenced that your feelings on it?
Again, I would say that it was more like the lack of, like, any movies that I watched or television shows. I mean, there was just nobody talked about God, the possibility, of God. So no, it's just the total absence of that in my life. Yeah, that's really all I can.
Okay, well, we've laid the groundwork. Now, this is what I really want to ask you. You said to me earlier in the week, very strong atheist until the birth of your daughter. And at that point, you became agnostic. Can you walk us through that? What the change was and why you think the change came about because your daughter was born?
So, not anticipating having this conversation, I never, it's not something that I ever even thought about. It, once you commit to being an atheist, then it's so very easy, I think, to just get on with your life and do the things that, that life entails, and because you don't even need to think about it. You've set that aside. So you're moving forward. And then here I am, I'm having a child and still not thinking about it. When my wife was pregnant, it's not something that crossed my mind. Even when going to the ultrasound visit, and seeing seeing little Ava in there and the heartbeat and all that stuff. I mean, I think I might have still been looking at it as, oh, that's the miracle of science, right? And I don't think the turning point was probably sometime after she was actually born, because I was able to be in the room and assist in the way that men can assist, or a husband can assist. And it was that miracle, right? It's like knowing that Aaron and I created a human being. Sounds like I'm saying that I'm God or something, right? No. You know what? It was after the fact where, and I don't even remember the specific moment, but the needle moved and I realized that how arrogant was I to think that all this, life and everything just came in a big bang explosion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized that I didn't know. So the needle moved to where yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Well, what I just heard was the word arrogant. And the big change, the big moving of the needle, the big change, the big growth from the person who writes this, we have that milestone, to what you are now is just more humility. It's pretty arrogant to be saying, let's get on the right path. Atheism is a strong position to take, and what you're saying is you were humbled by the birth of your daughter, and that whole experience just sort of made you go step back and say, like you said, you don't know, so less arrogant.
That's a good way to put it. I think I was humbled by the birth of my daughter. Like, I mean, just everything in my life changed, right? My perspective on everything changed. So naturally, I think that, questioning, like, well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Mind you, I have no evidence. It's just a feeling. So it's strange to me.
So at this point, so you used to be strong, hardcore atheist. You're agnostic now. You're open to. You're open to the possibility that God exists, at least some sort of divine spirit. Do you think maybe that's because now that you're responsible as a parent, you don't want to put a judgment out for your children that might not be right for them? Do you mind?
I'm not sure I'm not sure. Can you rephrase that for a second?
Yeah, I said that kind of weird.
Okay.
Like any belief or lack of belief, it takes commitment. And you can be sort of headstrong about that and affect everyone around you with those beliefs. The influence that you have on your children is deep and profound. Do you think maybe you took the agnostic position after the birth of your daughter because you wanted to leave open the possibility of God in her life, that you didn't want to like put a template? Does that?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And I don't know that was a conscious, thought on my part, but hearing you say it like that makes me believe I think that's exactly what I was thinking, though I'd never, until this moment, even thought about that. I think it just happened naturally, right? Because that would be hubris. That would be, like, oh, you're just going to accept my point of view. This is the way it is. Yeah. It's a journey for them. I mean, they need to discover, this is their life. They're, my children is their one and only life. So I'll listen to that. I still have the atheist in me because I just said their one and only life. Well, there may be something beyond, and I don't know. And that's the truth. I don't know. And I've lost the arrogance to be so firmly, so staunchly like, yeah, I know, you just die and biologically deteriorate. I mean, I used to say that.
Again, we're not here to really discuss the existence of God or anything like that. This is not a religious conversation. This is a personal conversation about the growth that we experience, specifically knowing the growth because of something we've written. And I really appreciate you speaking about it, because it's, it can get so contentious, talking about religion and atheism versus devout beliefs and whatnot. I don't have any more questions about that. I think it was really cool that I hung on to this, Joe.
Oh, man.
We get a different perspective 40 years later. There's some more things that you've written, and I'd like to have you come back and talk about those when we get there.
Absolutely. It's not terribly embarrassing.
Well, you might get some hate now for all the mean things you said. But then again, a lot of people there are a lot of atheists out there too. It's not about what you believe. It's just how you believe it, why you believe it, and how it may have changed. So I think you made it real clear and a great example. Thanks a lot.
All right. It was a pleasure.
Okay, guys, we're going to read some more directly from my journal. And next time we come across a letter from Joe, we're going to bring him back to talk about it. See ya.